Welcome to February, y'all. This month we are slowing down on purpose. Not to quit, not to fall off, but to come back to self. February on this podcast is about untangling who you are from who you had to be. It's about noticing where survival taught you to perform, overgive, stay alert, and stay on, if you will, even when you're tired as hell. So this month, we're asking different questions. We're not asking, what do I need to fix? But who do I need to feel safe being? What do I need to feel safe being? Each episode in February centers self. Not self help in that fluffy, cutesy sense, but real, grounded self work for people who've been strong for a long time. We'll be talking about who you are when you're not performing, how to build self trust after burnout and self abandonment, what it looks like to choose yourself without guilt, and how to return to yourself without pressure to reinvent. This is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you were before survival took over. So take your time with these episodes. Take a moment to yourself and pause when something hits, and journal when your body is asking you to. Come back when you're ready. February isn't about doing more, it's about finally being with yourself without the mask. Now, if you've ever felt exhausted for no clear reason, if rest makes you anxious, if you don't even know what you like anymore because you're always responding to somebody else's needs, this episode is definitely for you. Because today we're talking about performance, not the kind that you put on the stage, but the kind you learned in order to survive. This episode is called Who Am I When I'm Not Performing? And we're going to unpack what performance really looks like and how it sneaks into our healing and what it means to come back home to yourself gently. Now, take a breath with me before we go any further. No fixing, no proving, no pressure, just presence. Let's start here. If you've ever felt exhausted for no good reason, again, rest makes you anxious. If you don't even know what you like anymore because you're always responding to somebody else's needs, this episode is for you. Today, we're not talking about self-care in the cutesy way. We're talking about self without performance, without the productivity, without the damn mask. And I want to say this clearly up front. If you have spent years being the strong one, the reliable one, the one who handles it, the one who's always taking one for the team, you didn't choose that identity for the hell of it. You learned it to survive. So if slowing down feels uncomfortable, baby, you're not broken. You're just unfamiliar with being still without needing to earn it. So again, this episode is called Who Am I When I'm Not Performing? And we're going to unpack what performance looks like, how it sneaks into our healing, and what it means to come back home to yourself gently. So when people hear the word performance, they think fake. They think pretending. Am I wrong? But performance isn't always dishonesty. Sometimes performance looks like being emotionally available when you're depleted, showing up fine because you don't want to burden anyone, turning pain into productivity, healing out loud before you've healed privately. Performance is often a trauma response, not a character flaw. Many of us learned early that love came with conditions, that approval came when we were useful, that safety came when we were agreeable. So we adapted. We became the dependable one, the calm one, the funny one, the fixer, or the one who always got it. I got it. And over time, that version of you became automatic. But you know what the hard part is? You can outgrow survival, but still perform out of habit. That's why even in healing spaces, people still ask, what's the right answer? How should I be feeling? Am I doing this right? Performance doesn't end just because you start healing. Sometimes it just changes outfits. Let's talk about why rest feels so uncomfortable for some of us. If your nervous system learned that stillness meant danger, that quiet meant something bad was coming. Like, oh, this too good to be true. It's quiet. Something about to happen. And then that rest doesn't feel like peace. It feels like vulnerability. So instead of resting, you're scrolling on social media. Instead of sitting with yourself, you're staying busy. Instead of asking, what do I need? You ask, what's next? Like, okay, I'm done this. Okay, what's up next? What's next on my task? That's not because you're addicted to productivity. It's because your body learned to stay alert to stay safe. And no one tells you that when you finally slow down, grief often shows up. Anger shows up. Fatigue shows up. Not because you're regressing, but because your body finally trusts you enough to release. If you've been wondering why you're tired now, why emotions are louder now, why you feel unmotivated now, it's not failure. Baby, you're decompressing. Here's a question that makes people uncomfortable. Who are you when no one needs you? And I'm not talking about your title, your role, not who you are to other people. Just you. Many of us don't know how to answer that because our identity was built around service, around sacrifice, around being necessary. So when that demand quiets down, we feel lost. But lost doesn't mean that you're empty. It just means you're unmapped. This season of self isn't about reinventing yourself. It's about meeting yourself without expectations. You don't need to be impressive. You don't need to be inspiring. You don't need to be healed enough to be worthy. You get to exist without performing value. And yes, it does take practice. This is not an overnight thing. All right, so here are your journal prompts. And so if you're able, I want you to pause with me. You can journal, voice note, or just reflect quietly. Take a big old deep breath. Blow it out your mouth. Now ask yourself, here are your prompts. Who do I feel pressure to be? And where did I learn that expectation? Who do I feel pressure to be? And where did I learn that expectation? Number 2, when do I feel the most like I'm on? What am I afraid would happen if I stopped? When do I feel the most like I'm on? On with quotation marks. What am I afraid would happen if I stopped? What parts of me only show up when I'm exhausted? What might they be trying to tell me? Again, this is number 3. What parts of me only show up when I'm exhausted? What might they be trying to tell me? And number 4, if no one needed anything from me for a week, what would I actually want to do? I know this is probably the easiest question to answer. If no one needed anything from me for a week, what would I actually want to do? And there is no right answer. You don't get a spiritual gold star. What you're getting out of these prompts is honesty. So you have to be honest when answering these. And if discomfort shows up on any of these, that is perfectly okay. That doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing it real. So I want to leave you with this. You are not lazy for wanting ease. You are not unmotivated for wanting rest. You are not lost because you don't know who you are yet. You are unlearning performance. And unlearning takes patience. Self isn't something you find, it's something you return to again and again and again and again, as many times as it takes. Gently, without rushing, and definitely without judgment. So if this episode stirs something in you, I want you to know you don't have to do this work alone. I hold space for this exact kind of self-reconnection inside my Sharewell sessions, where we unpack these patterns in real time with community and support. I also create guided journals for moments like this. When you don't need advice, you need somewhere safe to tell the truth. And if you're ready for deeper, more personalized work, I do offer one-on-one sessions as well. All of that is linked in the show notes. For now, be gentle with yourself today. You don't need to perform here, just be.